Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Imagineers Disney Podcast. I am your host, Matt, and I am here with Susie again.
Hello everyone.
And we hope you guys are having a great week so far. And this is going to be episode 11, and it is going to be Pixar Fest at Disneyland. So there is a lot of stuff going on right now this summer over in California at the Disney parks, and we are excited to have a special guest with us this week, and that is Kaila Gonzales. Hi, Kaila.
Hi.
Welcome.
So Kaila is a fellow travel agent with Travelmation, so she's repping us over on the West Coast with a few other agents, but she is also one of the members of a fantastic Disney blog. It's called the Main Street 6, and they actually do other stuff too, but they primarily do Disney blogs, and they talk about things that you can do in the parks. They even do some do-it-yourself stuff. Kaila, I saw the do-it-yourself gray stuff, which looked amazing, by the way.
Did it look delicious?
Did it look delicious?
Yes,
it did. And then they also do some general travel. So, talk to us a little bit about what Main Street 6 is.
So we are a group of 6 travel agents and friends who decided that we wanted to start a blog to share all things travel and Disney. I'm on this team with 5 other girls: Sarah, Jennifer, Shelly, Ashley, and Victoria. They're all married with gorgeous kids, and I'm the only one on the team that's single with no kids. So they are kind of doing the whole advice with bringing kids to the parks or other areas of the world with travel, while I'm kind of bringing light to the adult side of Disney and adult travel without kids. We all actually met for the first time during our annual retreat with Travelmation this past January. And it was just kind of, we all grouped together by chance, and then we haven't stopped talking for a day ever since we got back. So it kind of started as us joking around about, oh, we should just start a blog. We have so many experiences and tips. We should just start our own blog. And then one day we're like, yeah, we'll start our own blog. So that's been going on since beginning of April. And we post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We do Disney, DIY, and other general travel tips and resort and destination spotlight.
Yeah, it's some
Awesome.
really great material, and you can tell that each one that writes, they love the topic that they're talking about, and it's really informative. So be sure to go check them out at mainstreet6.com, and hit them up and follow them on Facebook as well. So Kayla's going to be joining us for our episode today, and we are going to be talking about Pixar Fest over at Disneyland. So Pixar Fest actually started April 13th, and it runs all the way through September 3rd. So there is plenty of time to get out there to Disneyland, whether you're a Disneyland pass holder out there in California and haven't visited yet, or if you're just one of those diehard Disney fans that need to do your pilgrimage to Disneyland for the first time. This summer is the perfect time to go do that because there is so much going on. Right off the bat, I think the new projection show on the Castle of Disneyland looks awesome. It's called Together Forever. Kaila, I know that you have seen that already, so tell us what's your favorite part about that?
I mean, there's so many great things about this show. My favorite segment would have to be the Coco segment. There was not a time where everybody was singing and cheering and clapping except for this segment.
Wow.
I mean, all of Main Street was just decked out with the Dia de los Muertos decor, and it was gorgeous and well done. Also, Buzz Lightyear falls with style around the castle, as well as Carl's house from Up floating with the balloons across the castle instead of, Tinkerbell or anything like that. But No, the show was great. It's very focused on all the projections more so than the fireworks this time around. But you can actually view the show from various areas of the park. Of course, you can do in front of the castle or on Main Street, but they also do projections on the facade of It's a Small World, as well as water screens in Rivers of America like they do in Fantasmic.
Yeah, I saw the video of that, and it looked like a cool location. So basically, if you feel like Main Street's a little too crowded, you can head over to Rivers of America and go check it out there, or over at Small World. So,
Yeah, definitely recommend first time trying to get that spot on Main Street for the most immersion. And then my second favorite spot is definitely in front of It's a Small World.
What do you recommend? Oh,
no, go ahead,
sorry,
Susie.
Matt.
No, you're good.
Oh, since Disneyland is, significantly smaller than Disney World, I have no experience going out there. So what do you recommend if you're trying to get there? Like, what's the time frame to get a good spot on Main Street, since it's a little bit tighter than, Magic Kingdom?
If you are wanting to see a show on Main Street, I would recommend an hour before showtime. And in my opinion, the best spot is going to be anywhere between the Penny Arcade, which is like our confectionery, all the way to the front of Main Street where Coke Corner is, which would be like Casey's Corner in Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
That's kind of the sweet spot. So you can be in the middle of the Main Street projections, but not so far from the castle that you can't see those projections as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest elements is how they designed the show all the way down Main Street.
Yeah.
So in addition to having the projections on the castle, there are also ones on the shops and stuff that line Main Street. So it is very immersive, and it's just really fun. So yeah, and the addition of Coco looked awesome, and Buzz Lightyear flying around on the wire. So yeah, great show.
House from Up.
Yeah,
I love Up. It's such a sweet movie. I don't know. Every time the music comes on, anytime, I've been watching from afar through different videos and stuff of Pixar Fest. I'm like, oh my gosh, Up. The music's so sweet.
Well, speaking of Up, I know Up is one of the featured floats in the Pixar Play Parade, which is another one of the highlights of Pixar Fest. So this is in the Disneyland park. It is not in DCA, so this comes right down Main Street and through the streets in Disneyland. But so it's going to feature a lot of the Pixar film characters and different floats. So I know there's a Monsters Inc. one. There's, of course, the Up one. And that's actually one of the coolest ones because with Russell riding Kevin.
I have to say that with Russell riding Kevin is the best guest interaction in any parade that I've ever seen. Like he will come up and actually like get as close to the crowd as he can. And I mean, he's super tall, and he'll kind of arch his head over into the middle of the curb seating. And it's really funny when he sneaks up on like people who aren't really paying attention and things like that. So he's kind of like all over the place running around. It was really fun to see. And, unlike you, I'm actually not the biggest Up fan. But this whole Up segment in the parade was really, really good.
Yeah, I think Up in general, like Up's one of my favorite ones too. But those first few minutes, man, they're just brutal.
I know.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
Break out the tissues.
But this isn't a sad parade. This is a happy parade, so it's lots of fun stuff. So
yeah.
And something I was happy to see in the parade is some characters from A Bug's Life, which I just remember, growing up watching that. My brother was really big into it when we were really little, and I don't feel like A Bug's Life gets enough credit. So I've been very happy to see it get represented around all the Pixar stuff.
Yeah, Flick and Ada, and then I like the Heimlich.
With all the little people in their feet.
So another really cool one is the Incredibles float. So we know that Incredibles 2 comes out this summer, so they're going to be highlighting that. There has been a small change to this float. Yeah. So Jack originally caught on fire. Like, well, not caught on fire. It's designed that way. Fire comes out of his head, or it did.
Okay. I see.
Yeah,
I see where
yeah.
this is going.
So
Yep.
after the small incident that we had at Walt Disney World a few weeks ago with the Maleficent dragon, where all that is left is this crispy dragon, they decided for safety to just go ahead and stop those pyrotechnic effects on the float, I believe, until they figure out, okay, what's going on? How can we prevent this from happening again? So it's just a safety measure. I don't know if they will bring it back, but hopefully they will. But if you are looking for that, you ain't going to see it as of right now.
Yep.
The parade itself is awesome. So you have all those floats. I mean, you're highlighting movies like Up, A Bug's Life, as we mentioned, Incredibles. Of course, there's a huge Toy Story float and Monsters, Inc. Actually, I think it was a Monsters University, wasn't it?
Yeah, once that movie came out, I mean, this parade is about 10 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
So once the Monsters University came out, they changed that theme over and added some characters from that movie as well.
So that is not the only parade that is taking place during Pixar Fest. Making its grand return, Paint the Night, is actually going to Disney California Adventure. So that is a little switch. This parade ran in Disneyland for since its opening until it was put on hold for the refurb, but it is over actually at Disney California Adventure during Pixar Fest. I don't know if they're moving it back to Disneyland after the festival.
We're not sure. We're hoping. I mean, we're very happy to have it back. It is a little weird seeing it in DCA right now, but I think after Pixar Fest, maybe the Halloween season going into Christmas time, it'll be back for a short time, and then hopefully after Christmas, it'll return.
For sure. And they have made an addition to the parade. There is now an Incredibles float again in this parade, so that is going to be a highlight of that parade once that float is actually introduced, because I don't think it comes into the parade until later in June, correct?
Right, and they actually didn't make an announcement until the press previews on the day before Pixar Fest opened. So I'm assuming something on the float has to do with the sequel, and that's why they're not.
Right, yeah, I think I did hear that as well.
Yet. So there's also been a change to the parade for anybody who has seen Paint the Night before. The impressive Frozen float has been cut from the parade for now. This is probably because this float is very, very tall, and it has the potential to hit the Red Trolley cable car wires that run from Buena Vista all the way to Hollywoodland. So I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back or The Incredibles is replacing it permanently. So we'll have to see in June.
So I guess time will tell on that. But I one day hope that soon Disney World, the Magic Kingdom, gets a parade that is equally as awesome as this parade in Disney.
A night parade?
Yeah.
You want another night parade?
Absolutely. And if it's anything like this,
agreed,
it'll be awesome. So
True.
I think we'll have one before the 50th of Magic Kingdom. So,
or if not, I'm sure they'll do something special introduced around that time. But yeah.
Because East Coast is kind of lacking in parades. I mean, there really isn't one except for Festival of Fantasy, and that's it.
Yeah, that's all.
So yeah,
well, I'll have to write a letter and let them know.
Dear Bob Iger.
Dear Bob,
please give us what we want.
Listen to the people.
Speaking of what the people want food. Food. So there is lots of special food coming to Disneyland for this event, and I know that one of them is kind of a temporary shift from Red Rocket's Pizza over into the Alien Pizza Planet.
Mm-hmm. It is very, very temporary. We I'm speaking on behalf of all Disneyland fans everywhere, I suppose. We are different people. We're all unified. We all get each other, I guess. But I thought that this was something they should have done to Red Rocket's Pizza Port a very, very long time ago, making it Pizza Planet instead of kind of what looks like the kind of knockoff version of. So I was excited when they announced that it was going to be an overlay, which they did an overlay to Pinocchio's Village House and Fantasyland to Red Rose Tavern, which looks very, very permanent. Very permanent. So I kind of thought maybe the same thing was going to happen in this case. But they really just put a sign over Red Rocket's Pizza Port and kind of hung pictures of the little green aliens inside. And that was kind of it.
Well, that's slightly disappointing.
That's all for, yeah, I know. I was very excited. There's a couple things on the outside patio, but other than that, it looks pretty much the same. They did add a ton of new menu items, one of which has been on Instagram everywhere, the alien macaron. I was not able to get my hands on it because I went opening day and it has sold out so quickly.
That's crazy.
So quickly that day. Yes.
What makes it alien is I'm assuming it's green. Is it just like, is there a special flavor? Because I actually haven't heard of this.
It's actually the face of the little green alien from Toy Story, and it is the inside filling is bright purple, and it's a lemon blackberry flavored.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I was wondering what was on the center of it. So
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things. Not jealous at all that I didn't get to have one, but I have heard that they are very, very good, and they're very large, from what I can tell. So I think they're a little less than $5, but I mean, when you're used to Disney prices and with how big they are, the price is justified.
You're getting your money's worth with it, which is awesome. So. Have you tried anything else? I know there's some special churros out for the festival. Yeah,
Disneyland is doing this new thing where they're taking treasured desserts and trying to change them on us for some reason. And they started with beignets, which worked for a while, and then they threw in a watermelon lime flavor. A spicy watermelon.
Yeah, I think we both just made the same face, Matt and I. Like,
okay.
Let's just say I haven't been to the beignet counter in a long time.
I don't.
But they came out with a ton of Pixar churros. They have the Lotso churro, which is strawberry, pretty expected. They have a churro inspired by Kevin from Up, and it's like a lemon, sugar, and multicolored fruity cereal, so something along the lines of like Fruity Pebbles.
That makes sense.
On the outside.
That's interesting.
And then they have an ants on a log churro in Bugs Land, and it's drizzled with icing and has like Cocoa Pebbles on the outside of it. And then Presto, the little short, I forget which Pixar movie it was in front of, but it was the little bunny and the magician.
Right, yeah.
There's a carrot cake churro in front of the Haunted Mansion, and it's carrot cake rolled in cinnamon sugar with raisin carrot cream cheese dipping.
That sounds pretty good, not gonna lie.
Yeah, but I mean, the Cocoa churro was my favorite thing I've had at Pixar Fest, and it was like a 12 out of 10. It's salted cinnamon sugar and chocolate powder on the outside, and then they give you the spicy Mexican chocolate dipping sauce.
Oh, dang.
And oh my gosh.
So on my list,
I could have had 10 of these.
On my list of one day I hopes for Disney World over here on the East Coast, I one day hope that we can have churros that are equally as good as the ones out on the West Coast. So.
I wasn't going to say anything, but I've been to Disney World a handful of times. I'm actually going this weekend again. But I have noticed that you guys have like 2 churro carts and we have like 87 over here.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with us. Although if you listen to our snack
Yes,
podcast,
we
it's
have-
probably because everyone's eating all the stinking ice cream because
We
that's
have ice
literally
cream.
all we talked about. We have like 150
You know what? I
ice cream
agree.
shops in Magic Kingdom. Why not? All the ice cream, no churros.
Right.
However, I have to say,
Yeah,
when you
I
said
totally get that.
when you said ants on a log, I was actually thinking like, oh my gosh, do they have like an actual like, you know, ants on the log where it's like celery and they put peanut butter and raisins? I was like, who wants that on a churro? So very
Probably
glad
the
you
same people who
clarified the
do a
flavor.
chili watermelon lime beignet.
Yeah. Someone needs to stop those people.
Maybe it's the same people who it was an April Fool's joke, but it was still really funny. At least I thought it was. The kale churro.
Oh yeah, that was great.
They did like a whole promo video with the kale churro at the Magic Kingdom. I'm like, oh man. Okay, so we have hit all the shows and parades and then some food, and then it wouldn't be kind of like a Pixar without the characters. So there are some really great character meet and greets over at Paradise Gardens. You can meet Woody and Buzz, you can meet Mike and Sully, Russell and Doug, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible, and then, like we said earlier, with the during the parade with the float, some kind of rare characters with Flick and Ada. So I think that's pretty
really
cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I've seen Flick a very rare at Animal Kingdom,
yeah.
but never, Princess Ada. That's really cool. Makes my 90s kid's heart so happy.
Yeah, even with Bugs Land out here, we never see Ada. It's always Flick all day long. So that's really, really a cool opportunity to go and see that.
So while we're on the Pixar train with Pixar Fest, so I think we've adequately covered everything that is going on with that festival. So Pixar Pier is going to be also opening later on in June 23rd to be exact. So this is a retheme of Paradise Pier, and there's going to be just a lot of changes from attractions that you have been on where they're going to be switching over to a Pixar theme. We have the Incredicoaster, which was California Screamin', and then we have the Pixar Pal Around, which is the Mickey Ferris wheel, the Ferris wheel of death.
All Ferris wheels are
exactly.
Ferris wheels of death.
Oh no! This one is especially terrible because it actually you slide it's like how do you describe it? Kayla, help us out. How do you describe this?
It is like you are on a it is a long cylinder-shaped bar. So swinging gondolas on Ferris wheels are usually stationary and they just swing back and forth. This one slides you across.
Oh my gosh.
And when you finally hit that end, it's like your gondola, and I may be exaggerating, I might not be, but I felt like this. It swings and it's almost like your gondola turns vertical.
No.
I mean horizontal. Like it's sideways. No, it's like one of the Disney execs saw this in their nightmare and said, "Oh, we should just do that."
That sounds like something you go to a low budget county fair and someone didn't screw the seat on tight enough. That sounds awful.
Yeah, for people who are afraid of heights, steer clear of this attraction. But
I'll stay on the ground and go to Jesse's Critter Carousel because that sounds much tamer.
Does it look like they've made any changes to it, or does it look like it's just gonna kind of keep that feature?
Feature.
And all three of these rides that were existing before with the Seaside Pier theme have just been repainted and rethemed for Pixar. In my opinion, that's kind of what it is. But I've been multiple times during construction, and the Incredicoaster is the same track as California Screamin', the Fun Wheel turning into the Pixar Pal Around is the same. They just, painted it from red to blue and put some Pixar faces on the gondolas. And the carousel's honestly probably getting the most change as they're kind of gutting it and putting, the new critters on the carousel.
It's going to be Jesse's Critter Carousel. Say that 10 times fast. And that's going to be coming in 2019. And, I think, I know that people are calling this just a reskin, but I really like how in-depth they're going in the design of everything. So specifically with this carousel, they're going back to the characters that Jesse and Woody were around on the Woody's Roundup.
Woody's Roundup?
Yes.
The little things are like, in the movie? Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, they're digging deep in the theming, so I think that's going to be really cool to look at. So, and then, of course, Midway Mania I don't think they even changed anything with that. So, going on to the food stuff they're going to be having, and once again, it's just the in-depth theming. So, you're going to have the adorable snowman Frosted Treats. So, the abominable snowman from Monsters, Inc. is going to have his own, ice cream dessert stand, and of course
there absolutely has to be a lemon flavor, otherwise what's the point?
this place has actually already opened
sweet.
About a week or so ago, and I know their number one thing right now is they kind of have a lemon flavored version of Dole Whip there, so that's the number one thing I'm excited about because I'm a Dole Whip fan. Dole Whip forever. But they also do a lemon Dole Whip. I mean, I'm not calling it that, but the lemon Dole Whip with a blue icy. And I forget what they're calling it, but it's almost like a little float in that way. So that's the other popular item right now. So, this is where you guys get your ice cream in Pixar Pier.
Susie, there you go. Book your flight now.
Yeah, go all the way. It's a long trip for ice cream, but no, I really do need to make it out to Disneyland if, so many reasons, but these are definitely some more. Really excited for all the Pixar stuff.
Another place they're opening is the Poultry Palace, and this is based off of the fast food place in one of the Pixar shorts. I can't remember which one it is, but so it's going to be a quick service for that Pixar short. So I think that's kind of cool how they have incorporated that. Senor Buzz's Churros. So if you remember in Toy Story 3 where Buzz's language
Spanish
gets switched.
mode. Yeah.
So now he has a churro cart, so that's kind of cool. Also,
it's so detailed.
I know. The detail is just awesome. Then we have Angry Dogs. So this is themed after Anger from Inside Out. And then for the adults, there's going to be the Lamplight Lounge. So this is going to feature some gastropub, like small dishes, but like really unique. And then, of course, some cocktails. So it'll be a nice place for the adults, just kind of like take a break and enjoy the parks and enjoy an evening. So, Kaila, you sounded excited for that.
This is, this is what is replacing all of the Disneyland fans' favorite Cove Bar.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
And everybody was worried about the lobster nachos and the Fun Wheel drink, but they've reassured us that those two items are making its way over to Lamplight Lounge when it opens. They are also having some deviled eggs and toast, tuna poke, spicy chicken sandwich, carne asada sushi rolls. So it's kind of, they're doing
small
what
plates.
I like to call small plate California foodie items is what I would classify this place as.
Yeah, not your typical theme park food like hot dogs or anything like that. This is going to be kind of like you said, like tuna poke, and then interesting, delicious dishes like that. So,
right.
And then lastly, for the entertainment side of things that is going to be coming to Pixar Pier, coming back, World of Color will be making its return. So it went down so they could re-theme all the Incredicoaster and then with the Ferris wheel. So those attractions are so integral to the show itself that, you know, they had to stop the show and until the construction was finished. But that's going to be nice having back, I'm sure. Before we actually started the podcast, I was showing Susie a video of the Christmas version of World of Color.
Oh my god!
Season of Light. Like, I just want to come out there and watch it in person. Like, it's so good.
It was incredible.
No, good.
No, you go. I was just saying, I no experience, obviously having never been out there before. So impressed by the video. I couldn't imagine how awesome it is in person.
Right. I was just going to say that no video does this show justice. I mean, you can't, you can scale it to how high the fountains are and, how, the show spans over the entire bay in Paradise Pier, or Pixar Pier, I guess now. But I mean, all versions I've seen, the regular version, the 60th anniversary World of Color Celebrate version, and the Christmas version, they're just all so good. And I mean, it's a 25-minute show, but I mean, it seems like 5 minutes because you're just so into it and focused, and it's probably one of the best nighttime shows in any of the domestic parks, in my opinion.
For sure.
But it's so good.
Yeah, it kind of makes, I was telling Susie, I'm like, kind of makes Illuminations look a little cheap. But
definitely makes Rivers of Light look really cheap. Sorry.
Well, I think we're stuck with that one for a little bit, but we are getting a new Illumination. Well, we are getting a replacement for Illuminations. I know that they have scored the soundtrack, so I'm hoping that, with the 20 years that has passed since they have introduced that show into Epcot, with the advancement in technology, I hope they can do something as impressive as what they do with World of Color.
Yeah, I mean, we don't get as many churro carts. The least we could have is a better water projected show.
Right.
Kind of makes up for it.
Well, I think that is going to do it for us today. Kaila, thank you so much for joining us. Like I said earlier when we started the podcast, Kaila is a travel agent, so contact her. Her email is Kaila, and that is Kaila at travelmation.net. And of course, you can contact me as well. Contact any one of our Travelmation agents, and we are standing by to ensure that you have the best vacation possible at the best price. So we actively look to save you money any way that we can when you are visiting a Disney park, whether you're cruising, whether you're going to Aulani, Adventures by Disney, just any way that we can help you, because we know that everybody's on a budget and, people are looking to save as much money as possible, and that is our goal. So contact any one of us, and once again, go visit Main Street 6 at mainstreet6.com, and that is Main Street spelled out and the number 6.com. And then also look for them on Facebook to keep up with their blog and all of their awesome articles on travel to Walt Disney World and beyond. And be sure to like us on Facebook, Imagineers, and we're on Twitter as well. And Susie, I know, is really excited about this. We are now on Instagram.
Don't do that. Making me look like such a bad guy. Well, yes, everyone, we are on Instagram. You can follow us at _Figment because that's what we are. We're underscore.
No. That's her name. It's follow_Figment. So.
Oh, that's the whole thing?
Yes, that is the whole thing.
See, I don't like Figment, so anytime I see the word Figment, I just try to block everything around it. So
once again, please send hate mail to Susie.
We're just making a list. Apparently,
yeah.
I hate heights. I hate apparently Canada. Apparently, I hate Lando, and now I hate Figment. So. But
My
Disney's magical,
are
guys. Oh,
So-
and the Nemo show. I think we talked about that too at some point.
So I love Figment. Like, I have an original Figment plush doll. So we thought it'd be a cool idea, since we are
No, it's a good idea.
Imagine Ears podcast. Who better represents the imagination than Figment? So you can follow Figment on Instagram and just see where he is every day in Walt Disney World. So give him a follow. I'm sure he would appreciate it, and we would appreciate it.
We do. It's cute. We have a cute Instagram. Whoever runs it is doing a great job. And it's not me. I'm not bragging on myself.
Not naming names.
I wouldn't have a big blush anyway.
So yeah, just follow us all on social media, and we would love it. And if
Look, all
you
the
have,
likes.
yes, all the likes. And if you have liked the podcast, go ahead and rate it on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And yeah, so thank you again, everyone, for joining us for another edition of the Imagineers podcast. And thank you again to Kaila for joining us. We had such a good time talking about everything, and we hope to have you on here soon in the future.
Thanks so much for having me. I am looking forward to it.
So until next time, everybody, remember, if you can dream it, you can do it.
See y'all real soon.
You got a friend.